All right. All right. I believe that I'm feeding out to the folks out there. I have not gone live through this particular system that I use here on on YouTube. And you could let me see. I need to take that out. You don't need to. This is Stranger Palooza. It's not Hank Strange. Lola, you got to mute everything. Shout out to Prime Van Life. I see him out there. He says, let me see if I can actually add this to the screen here. He says, "Hi Hank, just noticed you're about to go live. Wanted to send you a quick note to say thanks for all your videos. Was very helpful in helping us make our decision to go with a new van. Awesome. Congratulations. Let us know what van that is. Shout out to Appalachian Gunrunner. He says, hope all is well there in the Strange Land. And Dirtfoot Racing says live. Dirtfoot Racing, I don't know if you wanted to come on. I mean, I'd be happy, but I didn't know whether or not you wanted to come on. So shout out to Dirtfoot Racing. I was just doing some van stuff with him, which I'll share with you guys. Okay, so as people are coming in here live, let me just explain what this video is about. Basically, we're going to talk about a few days ago, there was an announcement at, Lola told me what this was, the NTEA, which is the Association for the Work Truck Industry. So at that basically trade show, they announced a new ProMaster for 2023 as well as a new Sprinter. So the Sprinter's from Mercedes and the ProMaster is obviously from Dodge or Ram, I guess we could say Ram. And we're gonna go over those. The Ford Transit is already out there, in my personal opinion, the best van for building a Class B camper van on. Pretty much what you have is the Ford Transit, Mercedes Sprinter, and Ram ProMaster. You know, the Transit is relatively new, upgraded. It's got all-wheel drive and a lot of stuff which we'll go over here now. But I thought I would start by going over the stats, I think, right, of the Ford Transit, and then we'll talk about the new stuff that's out there, just so everyone can compare it, and we can have this discussion of whether this is good news or bad news for van building. And let's see, Ramon Toro says hello from Puerto Rico. So shout out to Ramon out there. Lola says, yes, Hank, we all know you love the Ford. Okay, so let me see if I can roll in the Ford stats here, and we can just go over it here a little bit. Just the engine, for example. Let me see if I can share my screen. Boom, here we go. So there's two engines that you can get, but mostly what everyone's building on is the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 engine. And that gives you, let's see, it's right here, 310 horsepower and 400 pound-foot of torque. So there you go. So that's a V6 twin turbo, very similar to the engine that is in the to the Raptor. And if you're looking at the Ford here, you can get, let's see, if you can go to exterior, you can get the highest roof possible, right, that's out there, and you can get a lot of good good things that come along with that. The biggest thing is the engine. The reason why I wanted to focus on the engine and the drivetrain. So I think there's still rear-wheel drive out there, but you can get all-wheel drive, and you know that's a big deal. So let's start with that. That's where we're at with. That's the one to beat, in my personal opinion. If you guys want to know from me, that's the one to beat. That's what I think. So let's just go back. Let's just go back here. Let me see. How do I do this? Okay. All right. So I don't know if anyone wants to argue with me. I think the Ford Transit is the one to beat. It's the biggest. Well, you know what? Actually, it's not. It's not the biggest in terms of length. I think Mercedes has the longest one out there. Mercedes has the 177 extended. You know, so that's you know. It's a little bit more than the Ford goes to 22 feet something, and you know, and then the Mercedes goes a little bit. You can get a little bit longer than that, about 2 feet, like Lola's saying, about 2 feet longer with the Mercedes. But other than that, the Ford is higher, I think, and has more power and all that. So that's why I think it is the best. All-wheel drive is awesome because whether you're driving in rain or you're going over a dirt road, snow, that kind of stuff, you really and even if you're just driving in a regular day, all the power is going to all of the wheels. Typically, most of the power is going to the rear wheels, okay, unless it's something is going on, and then some of it is going to the front. So it's probably like a 70-30 split, and then it can switch those up, even go side to side, you know, if it's needed. Ramon says a Ram is, let's see, let's put his comment up here. He says Ram is front drive only, not all-wheel drive or 4x4. That's one of the things with the Ram. And up till now, I've always thought the Ram is also not attractive. I don't like the lights in the front of it, so that's me. Prime Van Life says we went with the 2021 Coachman Galleria 24A Li3 4x4. He says really like the Ford/Beyond, but the 24A bed layout pulled us to the Galleria. I agree with you on the Ford. So yeah, so the Galleria is the biggest Mercedes you can get. And then 4x4 I think is a good feature on that. With the Mercedes, with the Sprinter, I've always liked either the short 144s 4x4 or the big 177, the extended ones 4x4. So I still think that's a good choice. So and Lola says very nice on there. Okay, so let's see if I can pull up, you know, let's start with the Ram. I think we should go with the Ram. So now if you guys want to know what I was looking at, I can't obviously play a bunch of footage from these guys because I don't want to get in trouble. They've got the YouTube videos out there, but they're working really hard. So we should give them credit for this before we get into it, and I will share the screen on this one. So if you go to YouTube here and you look for TFL Now, you will see they have this video. The 2023 Ram ProMaster van gets better fuel economy, better lights, and a new 9-speed transmission. And I don't know. I'll just
the current generation has been around
for little tiny bit of it right here, so you guys can see. Look at those lights. Now this looks European right there. That's just a little look at the lights of what's going on. I don't want to get us in trouble. And I will go. We can actually just go right here to their website. They've got all this stuff up on the website about the van. So this is what they look like now. And there's going to be a whole bunch of these. These typically are the most affordable ones. I think we've said that in the past. I've driven all three of these platforms as Class B vans. So you've got standard roof, high roof, and now there's going to be a new super high roof. So that's one of the new things that's coming out. So there's going to be a super high roof from that, and they have some different customization and things like that are going on. Let's see what the so it's going to have 276 horsepower, maximum torque 250, and 36 is their maximum turning diameter in feet. So here you go. Towing, maximum payload 4,680, maximum towing capacity 6,910, maximum cargo space 520. And then they've got a whole bunch of the people have been talking about this. The dash looks better. When I drove this, I really liked, when I drove the Ram, I really liked the power that it has. It's front wheel drive, as someone mentioned earlier. And so it's real zippy to drive, right? And so now they've changed the whole dash up front. You can get a lot of cool stuff. They've got a new like basic screen here in the dash. I guess you can get a 360 view, which is really cool. They've had the mirrors, the digital mirrors for a while, so you can actually see what's behind you with a camera that's back there. So if you have like an RV built on this and there's a bunch of stuff blocking it, you can still see what's behind you if you have your curtains closed, which is awesome. And so here's another look at what it's going to look like in there in the dash. That's pretty cool. They still have the shifter. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse moving around here, but they still have that shifter up front, and I really like that when I was driving. But this layout of the dash looks so much better. Even there's a screen inside of the dash right here, and this is for what is that called? The It's cruise control with adaptive cruise control. So you can see that here working. So that's awesome. But the big part of it is, look at the front of this thing. That is way better looking. This looks more Italian, which I guess they're kind of in. Automotive group that they're in is kind of Italian. That looks way better. The lights from before these things were really, really not attractive. This looks a lot better. So, yeah, here's a good shot of it right here. That's really good looking. And Lola and myself, we did a video. What was that? At Tampa or the Wiggum? Yeah, that was at the Florida Super RV Show in Tampa. And the Wiggum was there, and it had this similar front fascia, and I think that looks really good. So, you guys can tell me what you think about that. Some things. Charles H63 says they made a lot of improvements. Looks much better.
I agree.
Agree with that.
Listen, so with the ProMaster, your biggest complaint has been the way it looks and the fact that it was too small.
Yeah.
Right, but it drove great. It was very peppy. You like that about it.
Yeah.
You know, definitely had way more power than the Mercedes Sprinter, right?
Yeah.
So now they've upped the game so far as the front looks of it.
Yeah, Lola's here. We should have Lola on camera or something. But I think I agree with what Lola's saying. In my opinion, if you want the most affordable here, go with the Ram. Front wheel drive is really not that bad, and you'll see when we get to the Sprinter, that's like right now, your options right now would be with the Ford, you can get rear wheel drive, I think still. And you can get all wheel drive. I would go with all wheel drive with the Ford. And then with the Ram, you've got front wheel drive, and with the current Mercedes, you either have rear wheel drive or 4x4, but you have to put it into 4x4 mode. So front wheel drive is really not that bad, and I think that the builds on those that I've seen, let's say, you know, if you're talking about Winnebago or one of those companies out there that's building it, Coachman has, I think, the Nova that they build, you're looking at reasonable prices on that. You know, they're still in SUV price, probably in your upper 60s, you know, to upper 70s in terms of like entry level prices for those. And there's usually a lot of good floor plans with them. This looking so much better like this now, I wouldn't be ashamed to park this. You know, it's very important to me to walk away from that thing and look back and go, oh, that looks good.
Oh,
so
look back.
Yeah, I think it does look good. And more people are going to appreciate that. Shout out to Flying Rich. He says, more Lola, less Hank. Okay, and Ramon says the tan looks better, but I prefer the Ford Transit. And Kenny G says, shout out to you from Texas. Okay, and now Flying Rich says he misses me, but I don't believe that after what he just said about Lola. That's definitely not true.
And then also Nova, what I was going to say is, I'm sorry, also Ram also offered more colors, which...
Yeah, there's a lot more colors with Ram.
Yeah, a lot more colors with Ram. And then that new super high roof option might also be really great for building vans.
Yeah. So if we went back to their page, if we go back to their page here, let's see, and then I'm going to make the mistake of sharing this again and not know how to get out of it.
Sorry.
But so right now you've got the silver selected. I'm going to see if I switch it to red. This I see a lot with camper van builds. I see white. White is a good one if you want to be super stealthy, because it just looks like a white van. I kind of like this other gray as well. There's black. Black is probably not the best for a van, in my opinion. They've got a blue, and this looks like a darker red. I don't typically, and then there's a different red, and then there's like this tan, which the tan is kind of cool. I'm going to say I like the grays and the tans on that. The tan is kind of cool, but I would have to see it in person. Let me see. In the white. In the gray. I'd probably go for the gray. This has a lot of features now. So let's do... Let me see. Can I actually get my screen thing here going? Boom. Let's see. Oh, let me move that down here. Okay, so you know what we should do? We should go now to look at the offering from Mercedes so that we could talk about it. And there's actually this article from the Drive that's out that you guys can look at if you want to look up all this stuff. The article is called 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Gets 50-50 Split All-Wheel Drive System for Better Off-Roading. And the subtitle to that says, much like the Ford Transit, Benz's cargo vans are looking to grab the attention of outdoor-loving individuals and businesses. And we can go into that whole thing, but they're showing some stuff here, and they're talking about the basic things of it, which we will go over here in a second so we can all compare and you guys can tell me what you think. And then once again, like I said, there's the article that, or the video that TFL now has on the Ram, but they also did one on the Mercedes, and that's out there. If you guys want to look at it, I'll just play a little bit of it here from that show. If you really want to see that, you're gonna have to go to the show and look at it. But we can go into this article and we can get the important things that came out here. So it says it's a couple of things. It says, if this Sprinter's new all-wheel drive really is the real deal, those looking for immense space and go anywhere capability have another decidedly more luxurious option on their hands that isn't a Ford Transit, the vehicle that has dominated this spot in the marketplace. So let's just really, I mean, that's something for everyone to think about. Ford has been out there since the 50s in Europe building these vans. But very recently, a couple of years ago, when they redid these vans in Europe, someone said, hey, we should sell these in America. I think I'm still, okay, hopefully I'm still feeding out to people. Let me know if I'm still feeding out, if you guys lost me, or if I'm back. I don't know if we're still back here.
Your internet is good. Why do you think you got
Yeah,
kicked out?
okay. Is the power on? Is that plugged into power?
Yeah, your internet is good.
Oh,
Why do
okay.
you think you got kicked out?
No, because this thing was telling me I got kicked out. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. If we're still feeding out there, let me know if I'm feeding out to people. Give me a comment if you're still seeing this. I don't know. Jay says we're good.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's start try to go over what's going on here. Okay. So here's what they have. It says 50-50 all-wheel drive. It's not all that's new though. Starting in model year 2023. The new Sprinter will only be available with 4-cylinder gas and diesel engines. So I always thought all of them were diesel, but I guess some of them are gas that's out there. I haven't really seen those too often.
Neither have I.
Mostly what I've seen has been diesel, especially in the bigger vans. So, but it's only going to be 4-cylinder now. It's not going to be so cutting the Model 6-cylinder or the V6 out of the menu. So no more V6s. They're going to 4-cylinders.
Correct.
Okay, but apparently they're going to have more horsepower. So it says available here with either 168 or 208 horsepower, which right now at this current time, if you bought a diesel Sprinter, I think the most horsepower you can get is 188. So this is a bump of maybe 20 horsepowers. And they're saying it's in the OM 654 diesel. 4-pot is said to be smoother, quieter, torquier, and more efficient than the mill it replaces. A new 9-speed automatic is now standard across the board, and like that engine contributes to a quieter, quicker, more efficient, and more comfortable to drive Sprinter. And they're showing some things. It pretty much looks the way the Sprinter, like the Sprinters now look, which I think they look pretty good. They're pretty attractive from what's out there. Okay, so that's that. Let me see if I can okay, should I even try to, no, this thing is not going back. So I'm going to try to switch cameras again. Let's see if we can do that. Now the buttons aren't even doing anything. Oh, actually I could hit pick camera. There we go. Alright, so okay, I don't know what Lola is doing. What are you doing, Lola?
Sorry.
Ramon wants to know if they have a standard transmission for the US market. Stick shift? I don't think so. So when we look at this, I think the new Sprinter and the new ProMaster, if you look at those two, I really think that when it comes to the ProMaster, I'm happy. I think they did some good stuff. They made it look better. They improved the dashboard and things like that inside. They've got roughly the same, I don't know, maybe a little bit less when it comes to power, but roughly in the same thing when it comes to power. The Sprinter though, I'm a little bit confused on it. They went to a four-cylinder. It got more torques and more horsepower, but still 208. What is it? 208. 208 doesn't compare to 310. I mean
Ford
the Ford,
Transit.
yeah, the Ford still has a whole 100 horsepower more in my opinion. So,
So with the Sprinter, it still is a Mercedes, which has the name gravitas. I guess the people want a Mercedes,
mm-hmm,
so it still has that. And I think that the rumor of it being all-wheel drive has been around now for
mm-hmm,
like 3 or 4 months. People have been talking about it, been real
right,
excited about it happening. So
right,
now it's happening. It's here. I think it's great. And it's a good thing. But I think that people were expecting to rival the Transit a little bit more than just it becoming all-wheel drive. But becoming all-wheel drive and losing the V6 is kind of like a bummer. And then the Transit still being more horsepower still kind of leaves the Transit having that edge. So I don't know. I'm not
yeah.
sure that
And
it
I
came up.
apologize for Lola being off screen here. She decided she doesn't want to be on screen, but she obviously has a lot to say about this. Which
The camera can't support the both of us. It's
okay.
not wide enough of a camera
You
angle
should,
for both of us.
yeah, we should hook up a camera. Give you your own camera. Number one thing I heard when I was at the Ocala RV show is, "Oh, you need to show Lola more." Okay. So anyway, I think what Lola is trying to say, my personal opinion on all this, and you guys could tell me what you think. But me looking at all this, I think it's a good thing that Mercedes, the Sprinter, is going all-wheel drive, in my opinion, because you're always going to be able to use that. If you're getting, there's 4x4 is gone, by the way. So you're not going to have the 4x4 option. So whoever wants a Sprinter van in 4x4, you need to get it now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got about a year. Get that 4x4 that you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for. And if you think you're not gonna like a four-cylinder versus a V, I mean, yeah, versus a V6, I mean, you probably want to get it now if you want the 4x4. In my opinion, though, all-wheel drive is a great move for Mercedes because now you always have that working for you, right? I don't know what's going to be more capable off-road. I honestly don't know. This is going to be more now like their SUVs that are out there. So perhaps folks out there will argue that it's going to be less capable off-road. All-wheel drive, awesome. The fact that they upped the horsepower, fantastic. But I think it's not enough horsepower. If they were really trying to compete with the Ford, they should have at least come up to like 300 horsepower or something like that. But I think that Mercedes just can't squeeze that out of a four-cylinder. So that's the problem. You know, it's amazing to me that Ford squeezes that out of a V6. So, and you're going to notice the difference in this for people out there who think, well, does this really matter? I know some friends of mine had they had a 144, the short Sprinter chassis, and they were actually, and it's just had seats. It wasn't built up like an RV like this one is that we've got here, right? So I was actually driving next to them and I wanted to see which one of us could go faster. And they were booking with that thing, right? And I'm in this with all the, everything that's in here. This is built out like a coach and all that stuff. I left those guys in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
I left them in the dust. This is heavier, all that kind of stuff. And when we got where we were going, they were like, "Man, how does that thing go that fast?" Well, it's because theirs only had 188 horsepower. So bringing it up to 200 horsepower, okay, thank you. It's a little bit better, but I somehow feel like Mercedes could have done something with that. But what they're trying to do really is meet an efficiency point with these things, and that's the problem. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Thankfully, the Ford Transit is still out there and still has that horsepower. In the future, Ford might do something about that too and bump down to something lower, but that's really going to suck. So I think the horsepower is a big deal to me, but to a lot of people out there that are buying camper vans and getting out and traveling, they may not care about it. So it really may not matter to them because they don't really need, they're not going to be racing anywhere. But I like having that power, so that's just me.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll leave the comments
Yeah, we'll
to
see. Appalachian Gunrunner says, I'd rather have all-wheel drive and not need it than two-wheel drive and need four-wheel drive. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
I think it's a lot better to have that all-wheel drive and have it there all the time. Now remember, all-wheel drive still has modes. So even with the Ford Transit here, it's in all-wheel drive, but I could put it in different modes, which changes the bias of where that power is going. So you can make it more rear wheel bias, even more than it is. I think you can make it 100% rear wheel, or you could bump more up to the front, or just give it a better balance. There's snow modes, mud modes, and things like that. And I'm assuming Mercedes will have that as well. So I think they're going. It's a step in the right direction. I just want to see more power, for crying out loud. Especially when you put a bunch of furniture in there for the people, for what they're building this for mostly, which a lot of these vans are going to
For
get.
off-roading.
No, a lot of these vans are going to get sold to Amazon. They're going to be Amazon Prime delivery vans.
Okay.
They're going to be UPS vans, FedEx vans. For that, they don't need speed. That's why they don't do it. They don't need power.
Okay.
So they don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of an anomaly that Ford is giving so much power to the Transit. But I guess people really don't feel like they need it. So Kenny G says, doesn't sound so good with the van's overall weight. What torque are looking at? Transit is the way to go. Yeah, did they say right here what the torque was? Yeah, they basically said it's going to be torqueier, but I don't see
What
the
that
the
is.
exact torque thing. I don't know if you can look that up, Lola.
Let me see.
So I think we're getting, I mean, it's a diesel, and the torque is going to be decent, but the Ford is still beating a diesel. Oh, here's the other point. Yeah, Dirtfoot Racing says fleet trucks, and that's I think that the Ford Transit is going to be the best van for a camper van for another at least 10 years. Because if these guys are upgrading these vans now, we might not see different ones for 10 years. So the Ford Transit's going to be the best. We'll see if Lola can pull up what the torque is on the new ones. And here's the other point I want to make about this. Lola and I were out. We were hanging out with Dirtfoot Racing because we have a budget Sprinter van project that we're working on that maybe I'll show you guys. I'll roll in some pictures here after we get done with this conversation. But we were driving around and we were looking at gas prices. Diesel is $5 a gallon in Florida. I don't know what diesel is where you guys are. And hopefully these gas prices don't stay high. But yeah, diesel $5 a gallon. That's gonna hurt some people. That's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the big winner, the big improvement is gonna go to ProMaster.
I agree.
Just way better looking and a nicer interior, and it's already a nice vehicle to drive around. It already feels like really peppy and easy. It is really easy to drive that van. So it just doesn't have a lot of space for big dudes. If you're a little tiny dude, you're good.
Useful upgrades. I think the
Yeah.
improvements of
Did
the
you
upgrades are useful.
did
No,
you
I
find
can't-
out? Yeah, I'm not sure
I
what the
can't see what
torques
the
are.
torque
They're not going to
is.
be. It's not going to be that much torque.
Yeah, but I'm not.
It's not going to be. The Transit van has 400 torques. It's not going to be that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
It might be 200. It's going to be. It may be close to the torque to the horsepower number. Jay is saying 520 NC in North Carolina 520. Ooh,
Really?
yeah, yeah. California diesel has got to be like $8 or something. If anyone is in California,
Let us know.
yeah, let us know what you think about that. So yeah, right now, everyone tell me which one. What's your favorite? Is the Ford Transit your favorite still? Is that still the king of the road? Is it the Mercedes Sprinter van, the new one coming in 2023? it is a pretty good looking van, and Mercedes does have some cool stuff like power seats and all that. Those options you have, they do have
For
the
sure.
laser lights on there. It is the Mercedes is the better looking one.
I agree.
You know, it has the gravitas of being the Mercedes.
Correct. Hmm.
Um, or is it the new ProMaster, which looks real sexy, Italian, pretty much like a
Sexy.
Fiat up in here. A nice dash. You know, the dash it's got a digital dash here, and it's got a dash. It's almost like a Audi now.
Yeah. Hey, share some of that. The build,
Yeah.
the
So
dirt
okay, I'll
foot
share
build.
some builds with you guys while I'm waiting to
Share
see
some
what
of those.
everyone
Share
picks
some of
here.
those photos, and
Yeah.
then we gotta be done.
Hold on a second. Dirtfoot Racing says 2004 5-cylinder turbocharged Mercedes diesel in the cheap Class B build. That's right, with only 60,000 miles. I'm going to have videos out on it. If you guys want to see more videos, Dirtfoot Racing already has that. We're doing this in collaboration with each other because I know folks out there wanted me to do like a budget van build. So we want to see if you can get a reasonably, like a used van, get it, and then build it up and make it into what you want it to be. Epic Shade says, what do you think about the E-Transit electric van that's supposed to sell to companies later this year? Uh, I think the E-Vans are cool, but they're making those for last mile deliveries. That's made for things like Amazon Prime and FedEx and UPS. So those ones that are coming out are only going to have about 150-mile range.
Range.
So we would need for the camper van side of what's happening. For a Class B van, we would need at least 300 to 400 mile range. But we might get that as batteries get improved as we go forward here. So, let's see. I think we're still a couple of years out from that. Dennis Rubel says Cali diesel is 629 where I'm at. That's probably, yeah, that's decent, I guess, for Cali.
Yeah, that is decent.
And Kenny G says you had the need for speed. Yes, I do. And Dirtfoot Racing says he was working on his Fiat 500 today. So let me share some pictures with you guys. So if you want to see what where do I have pictures of where do I have pictures of that van? I do have some pictures of it here before we did anything, but let me go to the pictures that we recently took, because that's going to be the easiest stuff to show you guys. So here it is. Let's see if I can get this up here. Put this up on the screen. So here it is. We took it to a shop to get it up on a lift. So this is what it looks like right now. If anyone wants to know, the value on these is about 25 grand. So that's about what you can get. This one is an MB Cruiser from Forest River. It's Freightliner, basically Sprinter van from 2004, and it's a 2005 build from Forest River on the MB Cruiser for anyone who wants to know about that. Let me see. I have some. I think I have some pictures of it up on the lift. So we took it to a shop at which Walter's gonna know the name. The name of this shop is like Safety Harbor Automotive Repair or something. And we got it up there on the lift, and we got a look under it. I am gonna have videos up on this for anyone who wants to know. I've shot at least 2 videos, which I just need to edit and get out there to you guys. And then I'll show you another picture. Walter started gutting the interior. So that's on the way. Boom, check that out. Yeah, so the whole passenger side, everything got ripped out of that thing. That's where, and like I said, for anyone who wants to see video that's already up on that, if you go to Dirtfoot Racing on YouTube/Dirtfoot Racing, you'll be able to find that. And then here on Stranger Palooza, those videos are coming up. I've got 2 of them that are shot already. I shot one when we picked up the van, and then there's another one that I shot over the last, yesterday, I think. I shot that, so that's coming up. You guys will see that soon. Let's see the comments here.
Why are you zooming?
Yeah, Dan Archer says no real range on E-Vans. Get a hybrid. Yeah, I think they may have to go to hybrid first, but we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if I really want hybrid. I mean, just the van should just get excluded from all this craziness. We need, we need power on the vans. Um, and I'm trying to see what this name is. Johnny, New York, NYCS. Looks like a lot of people dumping their rigs because of crazy fuel prices.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
That's
if
good.
the van craze or the whole like camping vehicle, like RVs in general, I wonder if the sales are about to take a dip.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get some of the professionals out there to come in and talk to you guys about that,
We
because
had that conversation today.
there might be some deals out there about to happen if
Yep.
these gas prices keep going up.
Yep.
People are going to stop buying things. Tim Karcher says ProMaster higher roof will give tall people a budget friendly Class B. Yeah, I think we're gonna get some. The ProMasters already have the best floor plans. There's the most floor plans already exist for the ProMasters, because so many people are building them, and there's so many different things you can get. I think
Wider.
Does Roadtrek build one? I know that Coachman, Winnebago, a whole bunch of these companies are building
Right.
those.
Because they're wider, and then now they're going to be taller.
Yeah, I think.
So
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Let's see what's happening here. Dan Archer says gas is $5.39 in Vasilla, California. And Dirtfoot Racing said that's a good repair shop in Safety Harbor, Florida. Agree. And Tim Karcher says, I like the Transit all-wheel drive and cheaper than Sprinter base Class Bs.
Yes.
That's true. They're also cheaper. And Chris Grover says Transit. Pete Armstrong says, hello, Hank. I will be picking up my 2022 Gretsch Turismo Ion 4x4 this week. Congratulations to you, Pete.
Congratulations.
Pete, you need to somehow reach out to me on, like, through my DMs or something on social media. I want to know how the Gretsch is, and I don't know if you're in Florida or not, but it would be awesome if we could somehow meet up and I could get a chance to maybe do a video with you and that van, because it's very new and people are asking me about it, and we've done some videos, but I don't really know how they are. So if you could figure out a way to get in touch with me and then let me know how that is, I would really appreciate that. That would be awesome. And let's see, Ramon Toro says, in Latin America, Europe, and other nations, the Mercedes and the Sprinter comes with 4-cylinder standard transmission, and the sales are excellent. I don't know why they don't sell in the U.S. No, they sell. I think they sell here.
Yeah.
And Kim Karcher says, I heard Sprinter changes are being driven by Europe fuel efficient rules. Yes, because America is going to those same fuel standards, so the whole world, unfortunately, is going over to those. And Dirtfoot Racing says the old 2004 Mercedes-Benz 5-cylinder gets 22 miles per gallon. And Ramon says Ford Transit is my favorite. Pete Armstrong says Cali. So there you go. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know what you guys think about that. Really, that's what I want to see here. Do you like the features on this new stuff? It's all new and coming out. So he's in Cali, so it's gonna be kind of tough unless we meet on the road or you come into Florida on a trip. You're trying to escape Cali for a little while. It's about to get hot here. I don't know. Right now it's a little cool, but. So anyway, and it's pouring rain out there. But yes, please do get in touch with me somehow, just so I can know about that. A lot of people are asking me about that. So let me know. Do you like Do you like the new Sprinter for 2023? Do you like the new ProMaster? Do you think the Transit is the best? What do you guys think about it? I would love to know. We're gonna get more and more details coming out here, and it's gonna be a year, maybe a little bit longer than a year before we even see these come into camper vans, but at least the cats are out of the bag, so to speak. So, and Kenny G says number 1 Transit, number 2 ProMaster, number 3 Sprinter.
Okay.
I can get down with that. So okay, so that's it. I thought I'd just do this impromptu live with you guys. What am I getting up to now? I think I'm gonna.
Jump on Ham Radio 2.0.
Oh yes, I'm going. Yes, my friend Ham Radio 2.0 has like a Friday hangout. That's talking about ham radios, which I've gotten into. I don't know if you guys have seen that video here on the channel. Please do look around the videos. Check out some of the videos we have here. I have videos of me driving the 3 chassis, comparing the chassis, talking about all this different stuff. So please check those out. I really do appreciate you guys. Smash those thumbs ups. Thanks to everyone for joining here. We're going to do more lives. And make sure you check out Dirtfoot Racing. I think that's it, Lola, right?
Yep.
We're out of here, guys. Thanks so much. Peace. See ya.